Everyone will mistake him. This man who seemed completely peaceful could bring out a ferocious beast. Explosive punches, astonishing speed, incredible stability, and incredible intelligence. He is the gentle Kazakh monster. Gennady Gennadyevich Golovkin, also spelled Gennady, born the 8th of April 1982, often known by his nickname GGG or Triple G, is a Kazakhstani professional boxer.
Terminator here, this level, Gennady. This level.
I'm not machine.
I'm Ilyas, and today we will watch together the story of this legend. The Kazakh Thunder was born in the city of Karaganda in Kazakhstan to an ethnic Korean mother and a Russian father. He has three brothers, two elder named Sergey and Vadim, and a twin. His brothers had encouraged Golovkin to start boxing when he was 8 years old. As a youth, Golovkin would walk the streets with them, who went around picking fights for him with grown men. When asked, "Are you afraid of him?" Golovkin would respond, "No," and be told to fight. "My brothers, they were doing this from when I was in kindergarten," Golovkin said. "Every day, different guys." Golovkin's two older brothers joined the Soviet army. The government had informed Golovkin's family later that Vadim and Sergey were dead. GGG's first boxing gym was in Karaganda, Kazakhstan, where his first boxing coach was Viktor Dmitriev, whom he regards as very good. A month after he first entered the gym at age 10, the trainer ordered him to step into the ring to check his skills, and he lost his first fight. In 1993, at the age of 11, Golovkin began boxing competitively, winning the local Karaganda regional tournament in the cadet division, and he became a scholarship holder with the Olympic Solidarity program in November 2002. At the 2003 World Amateur Boxing Championships in Bangkok, he won the gold medal, beating all his opponents. Upon his victory at the 2003 championships, a boxing commentator said, "Golovkin, remember that name. We sure will hear it again." Later qualified for the Athens Games by winning the gold medal. At the 2004 Asian Amateur Boxing Championships in Philippines, he finished his amateur career with the record of 345 wins and 5 losses, with all his defeats being very close on points, and the majority of all losses eventually avenged within a year. Even Roy Jones Jr. admired him and said about him, 350 amateur fights, that guy knows what to do against anything. GGG signed with the Universum Boxing Promotion and made his professional debut in May 2006. After ending his amateur career in 2005, Triple G's record stood at 14 wins, 0 losses by the end of 2008. After knowing his strength and toughness, boxers began to avoid Golovkin in order to not get humiliated. Even GGG's coach said, "It's very hard to find a good opponent. Everybody knows that Felix Sturm is afraid of Gennady." Sturm was the WBA super champion, and he added, "Strictly speaking, Sturm should get out of boxing and become a marathon runner because he's running fast and long. He has an excellent chance to become a champion in athletics." Golovkin had a great desire to carve his name in the world of boxing, and he wanted more challenges, so he signed with the K2 Promotions, and he met Abel Sanchez for the first time, the veteran trainer who mistook Golovkin when he saw him for the first time. Golovkin seemed very far from being in the ring and hurting people, but as soon as Golovkin showed his boxing skills, Sanchez stood in shock at what he saw. Sanchez was able to notice how smart this boy was inside the ring. "I have a chalkboard in the gym, and I wrote Ali's name, Manny Pacquiao's name, and his name," Sanchez said. "I told him, you could be right there." He was all sheepish, but once I felt his hand and I saw how smart he was in the ring and how he caught on, sheesh. He's going to be the most avoided fighter in boxing, or he's going to get the chance he deserves. Later, GGG was scheduled to face the undefeated professional boxer Dmitry Pirog in August 2012. But weeks before the fight, it was announced that Pirog had injured his back, which would exempt him from facing Golovkin. But Golovkin would still face another opponent. In July 20th, 2012, it was announced that GGG would fight European champion Proxa in defense of his title. Proxa, whose record at that time included 28 victories and one only loss. That fight was one of the most important fights in Golovkin's career and was his first fight in America, in which he presented an amazing performance and a scary strength, ending the fight by knocking out his opponent with the technical knockout in the 5th round. This was Proxa's first loss by knockout. Proxa later acknowledged Golovkin's strength, saying that he couldn't do anything against GGG and said, "He was hitting me like a machine." On November 30th, it was announced that Golovkin's new opponent would be Gabriel Rosado, whose record at that time included 21 victories and 5 losses. Golovkin won the fight, of course, after completely smashing Rosado's face. Rosado was bleeding heavily from his nose and left eye. GGG's gloves and shorts were covered in Rosado's blood. The fight ended with a technical knockout after Rosado's team threw the towel, announcing their surrender, because if they hadn't stopped the fight, Rosado would definitely have died that night. The Kazakh Thunder continued to make his way and increase his victories. He fought Ishida on March 30th. Golovkin was the first to be able to knock out Ishida, and after that, Golovkin faced his opponent Macklin, the British former two-time world title challenger. Macklin was described as Golovkin's toughest opponent. In the first round, Golovkin landed a powerful jab followed by a right hook, sending Macklin against the ropes. And by the third round, GGG ended the fight with a right uppercut, followed by a left hook to the body, making Macklin scream in pain. Stevens was the next opponent, who underestimated Golovkin and said that he is an overrated champion. On the night of the fight, Golovkin defended his title so badly that Stevens' mother left the arena after her son turned into a punching bag. Golovkin ended the fight with a technical knockout, knocking out Stevens. As it was said, the look on Stevens' face after his fall said 1,000 words. Literally didn't expect this to happen. Osumanu Adama, who has a record of 22 wins including 16 by knockout and only 3 losses, was Golovkin's next challenger. At the end of the first round, GGG dropped Adama with a strong jab and a left hook. The same thing happened in the 6th round, Adama being dropped again with 2 quick hooks directly to the head, and the Kazakh Thunder sent him down for the last time with a powerful jab that made the referee stop the fight. He's such a professional that he makes it look so easy. The entire fight was Triple G taking down his opponent. Later, the WBA officially elevated Golovkin from regular middleweight champion to super champion. The next fight was against the ring's 2-rated middleweight Daniel Gill. 30 wins, 2 losses, 16 KOs. Golovkin defended his title brilliantly, ending the fight in the 3rd round. Golovkin's jabs were definitely the most powerful jabs in the middleweight division. The next opponent was Antonio Robiu. 59 wins, 6 losses, 51 KOs. Golovkin said before the fight that he is very excited to fight in California. This was Golovkin's first time fighting on the West Coast. As usual, Golovkin ended the fight with a lightning, powerful hook to the top of Robiu's head. For Golovkin, hitting directly in the face is not necessary to get a knockout win. He can knock you out even though you raise your guard by hitting you from above. He's such a badass monster. The next challenger was Martin Murray. 28 wins, 1 loss, and 12 KOs. In the first round, Murray did well in defense, but in the 4th round, Golovkin began to notice Murray's weaknesses. The Thunder knocked Murray down twice in the 4th round, but Murray didn't give up and continued trying. It became easy for Golovkin to throw punches in the next rounds. Murray continued to stand and block more punches, but he finally fell by the 10th round. And despite this, he didn't give up and continued fighting. The referee was able to see weaknesses and fatigue in Murray's movements in the 11th round. Then he decided to stop the fight and declare Golovkin the winner. On May 16, 2015, in California, a fight took place between Golovkin and Monroe Jr., the American boxer with 19 wins, 1 loss, and 6 KOs. In front of more than 12,000 people, Golovkin defeated Monroe via TKO in the 6th round. Monroe started out aggressively with quick jab punches and energetic movements, but Golovkin was smart, knowing that the American would not be able to finish the fight this way, and he would get tired soon. Golovkin made Monroe trust himself until the 6th round. GGG surprised him with a heavy punch that made Monroe fall to the ground on his knees and say, "I'm done." Thus, the fight ended with Golovkin winning. After this fight, the Kazakh Thunder continued to end the professional boxer's career, knock them out and win. Lemieux, undefeated Wade, undefeated Brook and Jacobs. He became one of the strongest boxers in the world. No one literally was able to stop him until September 16th, 2017. The biggest fight at that time. The two teenage companions, the Mexican monster Canelo and the Kazakh tank Golovkin. The fight began with a sharp start. The two boxers gave their best with beautiful punches, quick hook strikes, and unparalleled intelligence. It began to become clear that Golovkin was showing great control in throwing precise and powerful punches, and it was clear that he was the winner. The rounds continued until the fight ended, and everyone was waiting for the Kazakh tank to win, but Canelo was given the draw. After his first fight with Canelo, Golovkin won his fight against Marty Rowan with a knockout punch, setting up a rematch against Canelo. In his second fight against Canelo, the Mexican boxer wins via 12-round majority decision. After his first loss, Golovkin badly wanted a second rematch against Canelo. Triple G fought 4 matches and won them all. Murata, Steve Rolls, Sareta, and Derevyanchenko. They couldn't break Golovkin's will. Getting older and fighting in a different weight division for the first time, all of this didn't prevent this guy from fighting Canelo again. In the third fight, Golovkin fought Canelo fiercely despite the large age difference between them. Golovkin gave a respectable performance even though he was 40 years old. In the end, Canelo wins via 12-round unanimous decision. This was Golovkin's last fight before his retirement. The Kazakh Thunder left a history of victories behind him and made us enjoy every moment of him inside the ring. And that's it, guys. Don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Until next time.